Hey, it's Ian from Las Vegas Scooters and Lifts again. Today I want to review the Pride Go-Go Ultra X. Okay, so today I've got the Ultra X from Pride Mobility. This is the Go-Go Ultra X. This is their new release of the Go-Go Ultra X. There's a lot of things that have changed from the first iteration of this scooter. Some good. So yeah, they've got some nice styling features on this scooter. So yeah, we've got both the 3 and the 4 wheel here to show you, just to show you some differences between the two scooters. So this might help you with deciding what scooter may be good for you, either a 3 or a 4 wheel. So we'll dive in. I'll do most of the demonstration on the 3 wheel scooter, but I'll refer back to the 4 wheel scooter as well. So and I'll go through some of the changes they've made from the first generation of Ultra X, or if not the second generation. This would be their third, technically their third generation. I'll dive right in. I'll just move the 4 wheel out of the way so I can get around the 3 wheel and show you how it all functions. Here we go. Let's move that. Okay, so here's your 3 wheel Ultra X, Go-Go Ultra X as they call it, from Pride Mobility. And some of the big changes they've made to this scooter are, first of all, you have your ambient light meter. So they've changed that from the original LED meter. So now it has the ambient light sensor on there. So if it's dark outside, the light will actually dim down. We had a few complaints from customers saying it was too bright. So Pride addressed that problem. So now they have an ambient meter there. Always start from the top. You get a small basket, your charger, you use the manual, everything in the box. There is some assembly to do on these scooters, as like all the other Go-Go, Drive and Golden products. You have to assemble these scooters, obviously, from out of the box. Things like you have put your battery pack on, put your seat post in, put your basket on, but there's no real nuts and bolts assembly to do. It's just a matter of putting them together. So it's kind of a little way of disassembling and assemble the scooter. But things like your armrest pins have to go in place, and then locate the armrest pins just there, and then adjust your arms however you feel comfortable. As the scooter goes, it's just like any other product. On your top console, you have, like I said, your voltmeter, your easy pull key and key barrel, and also your speed dial, your little horn, and your forward and reverse throttle. The only other thing, and this is one of the changes they've made to the Ultra X, is now that you have a charge port on the top of the tiller just there. I'll just swing around and so you can see it a little better. There we go. So there's your top charging port there. They still kept the one on the battery pack just there behind this little rubber flap, so you can charge the battery on or off the scooter. But if you want to use the one on the tiller, you must have a battery in the scooter, and that goes for most of the other scooters that other manufacturers supply. But they usually put one on the tiller, one on the battery pack, so you have an option. Now the front basket, you can actually upgrade this to a larger basket. So ask your retailer or your provider of your mobility products. But what we do is offer our customers an optional upgrade for a larger style basket, which you can see the comparison side by side there. So if you do want a larger basket, you can do. From the manufacturer, you cannot upgrade this scooter to a larger battery pack. So they don't offer that at time of purchase. But if you speak to your retailer, like us, we could probably upgrade that battery pack for you and order a larger battery pack. It probably would be a bit more of an expense, but you will get better range, better battery life for your scooter if you need to go a little bit further. But the range on this three-wheel, I think, is around about the 8 miles, and maybe a little bit more for the four-wheel. Yeah, so your four-wheel, you're going to get 8.9 miles at a 200-pound person, and 8 miles at 200-pound person for the three-wheel, so it's negligible between the two. Obviously, the larger the person riding this scooter, which both these scooters have a weight capacity of 300 pounds, which is I think that was an increase from the original Ultra X and Ultra, which were only like 265 pounds, 250 pounds, something like that. So they beef the frame up a little bit and given this a 300 pound weight capacity. So it covers a wide base of people, from small to large. But obviously a larger person will get a shorter drive range, and you're probably looking at a 300 pound person, 6.6 miles for a four-wheel and 6.2 for the three-wheel. Okay, so one of the biggest upgrades they've done with this scooter from the original Ultra X and the second iteration of Ultra X is this another seat change. So they've kind of given it the white contrasting stitching, kind of like Bentley or Rolls-Royce, that kind of sports car look. But I think one of the best features they've done for this scooter is the mesh back seat. So yes, you do lose the seat pocket at the back, so there is no storage at the back of the seat, but it will make the seat a little bit lighter. But I think one of its best features with the mesh back seat is how it keeps your back cool, especially if you're riding in hotter conditions like here in Las Vegas. It does get very hot, and when I go out test driving these scooters, it definitely makes your back a lot more cooler. Still kept the vinyl seat with the perforations, and like I said, with the nice offset stitching. An upgrade to the armrests. They're a bit more stylish and sleek, so they've altered that. Everything else about the seat is still the same. You still have your seat rotation lever just there, which can be swapped to either left, right, and also center, so you can change that either side and to the front if you wish. But yep, that operates just by lifting, and then it will lock into place just like that, all the way round 360 degrees, so you can get on and off the scooter however you feel comfortable. And of course it just swings all the way round. I'll do like my mother used to do, drive up to the dining table in the restaurant, swing her seat round, eat her dinner, swing her seat back round, then drive off without paying and leave me to pay. Hey, parents. Yeah, so anyway, that's a good feature on pretty much all mobility scooters. Like I said in previous videos of the folding scooter reviews, a lot of their seats are in a static position because of their folding mechanism. They just don't swivel. So if you need a swiveling seat, then you would look at something like a Go-Go, a Drive, Scout, something like that, or even the Golden Buzz Arounds. So some of their travel range scooters that all have the swivel seat. So it's just down to your preference. So the styling on this, they went from the original red, and now they've done this new version in black. They have also upgraded the floor shroud to give you a little bit more foot room just there. They've kind of made a chop sort of shape there to give you more feet room rather than a one whole line to the front. So they kind of brought it out a bit so you can put your feet on the footboard. The four wheel, again, they put the same detail on there, but not as severe or not as pronounced as the three wheel. But still, the four wheel gives you definitely more foot room than the three wheel would. So somebody with larger feet or has trouble with lifting their feet, you may have trouble with this front wheel cover, getting your foot through that scooter. Whereas a four wheel, it's a lot easier, it's a lot wider from battery pack to the front. Also with the four wheel you have these front fenders where you can actually put your feet up on there. That's why they have this protective tape on there, so you can put your feet on there, just so it gives you a bit of optional comfort. So again, you would have to judge what scooter is going to be the best fit for you. What we always say is a taller person would probably fit better in either a four-wheel scooter or a longer version of a travel three-wheels kind of scooter. It would be then your Traveller Plus or Sport or a Golden Buzz Around XL, that sort of scooter that has a longer footboard but still keeps the three-wheel turning capability. So going through some of the different aspects between a three and a four-wheel scooter, and this is what we tell our customers when they come in our store and they're kind of new to buying a scooter, which is a lot of people, and it's never a problem for us to go through this kind of information with them because they just don't know. So, I mean, they probably read a few things online about the differences, but the key difference between a three and a four-wheel scooter is going to be your turning radius and also your tipping factor. So a three-wheel will definitely give you more of a tip sensation or even the possibility of tipping due to its nature of its three-wheel stance. So you only have one wheel at the front, obviously, and two at the back. So as you can see there, it tips a lot easier if I put my foot on the edge of the scooter, grip the handle as if I was going to step into it, either foot, and it does tip. It does tip a lot easier than a four-wheel would. If I did the same demonstration on a four-wheel, it won't tip as much. It's not as easy to tip. It will do it if you're a heavier person, but the tip factor when riding is going to be a lot less. So your turning radius, yes, you're going to get a better turning radius with a three-wheel. As you can see, the tyre near enough turns 90 degrees. Whereas your four-wheel, obviously you have an extra wheel at the front plus frame, so the turning radius is a little bit more wider. But it's not to the point where you're going to struggle getting around things. So you have a better stability, but you're compromising with your turning radius. For somebody who's kind of new to mobility scooters and a little bit unsure about them, we would definitely recommend a four-wheel scooter, because the last thing we want to do, or any of the people riding it want to do, is tip out of a scooter. So you have to judge your situation, judge your disability, and buy the product that's correct for you. Somebody who has balance problems, a four-wheel is going to be a far better scooter for you than a three-wheel. So your turning radius between the two is very negligible, so don't worry about, oh, the four wheels have a greater turning radius. It's not that bad, to be honest. So your turning radius between the three and a four-wheel is 36.5 inches turning radius, so that basically if you turn it hard to the left or right, it would turn around in a 36.5 inch radius curve. A four-wheel, slightly larger at 52.25, but it's negligible when you're riding them. You probably, maybe in an elevator you would have to do a 3-point turn. You are increasing the weight of the scooter between a three and a four-wheel due to obviously more framework and the extra wheel and the slight bit of extra length. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit heavier. Somebody who's lifting this scooter into your vehicle, just take that into mind, that a four-wheel is going to weigh slightly heavier than a three-wheel due to those extra pieces they have to put on the frame and the extra wheel. But the weights between the two, the total weight without the battery pack, now the battery packs on both of these scooters are identical. They're both what we call the 12 volt 12Ah or amp hour battery packs, and there are two batteries in each of the packs, both of them identical in shape, size and weight. The weight of those are around about the 20-pound mark, so that will give you an idea. And so the weight of the scooter without the battery pack on a three-wheel is 76.25, and on the four-wheel is 81.5. So there's an increase in weight due to those extra pieces. Again, it's pretty negligible if somebody doesn't have any lifting problems, back problems, knee problems, but definitely take that into consideration. The heaviest piece on either of the scooters, so the heaviest piece on the three-wheel is going to be the front section, is 29.5 pounds, and on the four-wheel is the front section again at 34.5. Now, all the manufacturers basically wanted to try and even out the weights on these scooters so it was kind of liftable for most people. So the seat, the back end, the front section, the battery pack, they kind of wanted to even all the weights out so it's not too cumbersome to lift. So that's the great thing about the travel scooters, that they break into, they say 5 pieces, but that includes the basket as well. So. But in essence, you're looking battery pack, front section, rear section, and your seat. You can actually disassemble the seat if you wish to, which I showed you earlier, but you would have to undo these 2 arm knobs either side and remove the seat locating pins, which are just on either side. So you could actually take the armrests off, making the seat even lighter. Some people like the armrests, some people don't, but that option is there for you if you do want to take them off. Also with your armrests, they do lift up, out of the way, nice and sturdy, good design. Most of the scooters are like that. And again, your seat back does actually fold down, so you can get it inside of a vehicle. Both the 3 and 4 wheel are identical. There's no pins or clips or anything handles that you have to operate to remove the seat from the scooter, but I'll demonstrate that in a few minutes on how you would disassemble and reassemble one of these scooters. I'll show you on the 3-wheel, but I'm just showing you the seat. So the tyres on these scooters, they are 8x2s at the back, slightly smaller on the front, and 8x2.5 on the 4-wheel by 8x2 at the back. So pretty much the same, but the 3-wheel has a smaller tyre at the front, which is pretty standard on the Go-Go Traveller range for the 3 wheels. Going over the battery pack, what you have on the front of the battery pack here, which is located underneath the seat. Again, I'll show you all that in the disassembly portion of the video, how to take it in and out of the scooter. But like I said, you have your charge port behind this rubber cover to keep the weather out. You have your charge port there, your little fuse for that charge port, and also this little rubber thing here. Now a lot of people say, is that a light? No, it's not a light. What this is basically is a circuit breaker. So any problems with the scooter, then that circuit breaker will actually shut the scooter down and it will click out. A bit like your circuit breaker on your lights or your power sockets if there's any surge of power. If your batteries are low and you're going up an incline at very low speeds, it can actually trip that to save the scooter from any overload. So moving down the tiller, obviously you have your basket, which we said you can upgrade through us if you wanted to do that, if you purchase a scooter from us. You have your tiller adjustment just there. Just come around there, so it's a nice rubber handle there that you just turn a little bit to loosen the tiller and adjust the tiller forward and backwards, and also when you fold the scooter down, when you fold the tiller down to load it in the vehicle. Both on the same on the 3 and the 4 wheel in the same location. Okay, obviously when you buy a new scooter you do get your charger, which I've shown you these before. Has your 3-prong connector which goes in either the top tiller or the battery pack, but that's your charger that you get with your scooter. So disassembling one of these scooters, pretty much the same for all scooters in the travel range from Pride, Golden or Drive. You would start from the top and work your way down. First thing, as always, what do, Jenny? Yes, you do. So take your key out. We see so many people come to Vegas with broken keys in the key barrel. Difficult to get out, but I can do it. So your basket just lifts off, held in with a couple of brackets like that. So then you would move back to the seat. Your seat back folds down. Like I said, you can remove the armrest if you wish, but that's up to you. Lift it from the back and the front of the seat, slightly bent over, and then just lift up. No pins, handles to remove, and then just place your seat down. Typically that will be the last piece that goes into your vehicle. Your battery pack is your next thing. Cover that up. Don't grab it there and smash your knuckles. Grab it from the top and then pull slightly forward and up. And that's how you would add and remove the battery pack. So it just pulls out of place. Next thing is your tiller adjustment. Just give it a couple of turns and also lower it to the scooter. We always say make it parallel to the floor. Don't let it drop all the way down, because then you're going to start damaging things, either the connector or the top console. So always make it level with the scooter. No higher than the seat post, because that's got to go in the vehicle. So retighten that handle up there, and at the front you have a steering lock, because obviously this spins around freely. So make sure your wheel is straight, push it in, turn, and then that locks that in place. You can lift the scooter like that if you're physically able to do so, but at the rear of the scooter behind the seat post is the quick release handle. You would lift up, put your fingers underneath and keep it lifted until the scooter comes apart. Then you would have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And then just to reassemble, just reverse the process. Always make sure that the rear is sitting back on its trailing anti-tip wheels. You have little indicator stripes there, and these 2 hooks go on those 2 green stripes there. 3-wheel is a bit more awkward to do than the 4-wheel, so definitely stabilize the scooter. Try not to get it to rock and roll. Don't try and do it one-handed. You'll struggle and you may bend these pins.
Do not break the pins.
So steady the scooter with your both hands. Keep your fingers out of the way, but lift that up and slowly bring it back, and it should come together very easily. If it doesn't, start that process again. Don't bend the pins, that's the key thing. Then give your tiller a couple of turns to loosen it. You'll feel it loosen. Bring it up. Make sure the teeth come together perfectly and just tighten that up. It is pretty easy to do. And then just turn your unlock button just like that to release your steering. Next thing is your battery pack. That'll be the next thing to go back on. Just hover it over the battery connector and where it's normally supposed to go into the battery slot, and just lower it down and just make sure it's seated correctly. Next thing, you can add your basket on there. Again, it's really simple. You have the bracket at the front and it just slides onto the bracket. Next thing, your seat. Now you lifted your seat from the front and rear. I always recommend grab it from the back of the seat where the cutout is. From there with one hand, and then again at the front. This way you can tilt the seat, see the seat post, and offer it up to the seat stem, and then just lower it down and just make sure it's locked into position. Bring your seat back up. Check your brake freewheel lever, make sure it's in the drive position. As shown there, you've got a little lock, unlock, neutral, drive. When it's in neutral, you can freewheel the scooter. When it's in drive, you can drive the scooter. Yeah, so if you had a 4-wheel version, then it would be exactly the same, but obviously a little bit heavier, but you have a bit more stability with the 4-wheel, 2 wheels at the front of the scooter. But the disassembly is exactly the same. Okay, I'm now sat on the 3-wheel. So I'm 5'9", 225 pounds, thereabouts, and I've got size 11 feet. So the seat really comfortable. I love this backrest. I love that mesh backrest. It's very comfortable. Helps you back with breathing when it's warm. But yeah, plenty of foot room for a 3-wheel. As you can see, my big feet are on there. They're not hanging off the sides, but you could do if you wanted, but just be careful if you just, as you can see, you could catch your feet on anything like that. We always say keep your feet in there so you're comfortable. I've showed you the top console, so there's your key, turn it on. There's your battery indicator. And the front there you can see without the glare of the lights, so That shows you your battery life, and these lights will start to dissipate as the battery gets weaker. That's your power light, just saying that the power is on, and that's your little light sensor there. Speed dial, slowest is your tortoise, and hare is your fastest, pretty common. Horn, it's so loud it deafens you. And then your throttle forward, and pull it towards with your thumb for reverse, and vice versa. Reverse, and then towards your for forward. So you can use it with either hand. You can actually swap these over. So if people are used to using the left hand as their most common hand, we can actually swap that over. So if you push forward, it would be forward, rather than right hand operated, which it is at the moment. So top speed on these is around about 4 miles an hour. This is set at top speed at the minute, and I'm whipping around the store. I have to slow down a little bit for the tighter corners, but this is kind of average for most scooters. I just want to show you the slower starts. We recommend for indoors nothing more than slowest to medium speed, unless you have a clear road or clear path in front of you. Then you can increase your speed if you're more confident on the scooter. But at its slowest speed, your throttle, like we said, is like your gas pedal. It slowly picks up, and then it'll go at that set speed that the speed dial is set at. It won't go any faster. So you would have to increase your speed to where you feel comfortable. Feathered throttle as always. So that's the good thing with these scooters. Everything's in front of you on the dial there. So if you do operate with your thumb in reverse, you can alter the speed with your finger. Or if you're using your thumb to go forward, you can increase your speed that way. The brake is pretty instantaneous. So if you do need to come to a sudden stop, it automatically stops for you and brakes. So if you're on an incline or a decline, you won't roll downhill or roll backwards. So it's a great safety measure there. Just pull the throttle towards me to go forward. Yep, great turning radius. Let's see if I can turn around in this space here, as you can see. So there's no point of doing a 3-point turn. You can actually turn around in a pretty good space. But just watch. If you're at a higher speed, you will feel like you're going to tip. That's why we say the 3 wheels are not good for everybody. As long as you can kind of counterbalance yourself a little bit as you turn a sharper corner. But we always say make sure you slow down for any tight corners. And also slow down for all the pedestrians in front of you, because they don't look. And you don't want to be having any accidents with other people. But yeah, comfortable scooter, nice ride, nice and quiet. Very reliable scooters these. All the usual features that most scooters have. There is one thing about these scooters: they are straight handlebar, so your hands are a little bit exposed, as you can grip there. As you can see, my hands are not over the edge of the handlebar. They're just right. My thumb's in the right position. For some people who have dexterity problems with their hands, or even with their thumbs, they can't operate a tiller with a thumb-operated throttle like this, then we would recommend the Delta tiller, like on the Traveller Plus Sport and the new Travellers. So the Elite Traveller range, which is your Traveller Plus, and your Sport LX, but I think that's been discontinued. Plus the ZT8 is also a Delta tiller. So basically your Delta tiller is just that D-shaped tiller just there, and you operate it with your fingers as opposed to your thumbs. You can still do it with your thumbs by putting a heel of your palm, of your heel of your hand on the back of the tiller, and use your thumb if you want to do it that way. So you've got a few more options, and plus your fingers are also kind of protected with a Delta tiller. But this only comes in this option with a straight handlebar and a thumb operated throttle. So just be wary, or be mindful that if you do have thumb problems or any kind of arthritic fingers like I do, that operating with a thumb for a prolonged period, you would have to do that with this scooter. So that's another little thing to look for. But yeah, like I said, it's a comfortable scooter, nice soft tyres, so you're not going to diminish a lot of the sidewall cracks, the control joints in the cement. You're still going to feel that because this doesn't feature any suspension. But yeah, it's a good beginner scooter. It's Pride's second entry level scooter. The ES2 is their entry level scooter, which doesn't feature any real disassembly apart from the seat comes off, and that's pretty much it with that scooter. You'd have to lift the whole scooter as one piece. The seat doesn't rotate either, so there are some downsides from the ES2 to the Ultra X. So maybe look at the differences between the two and what's going to be best suited for you and your carer or partner that's helping you lift these scooters in and out of the vehicle. But yeah, that's your Ultra X going nicely around this my oval circuit here in my showroom. I don't feel uncomfortable. My legs are in a great position. The seat's nice, soft and comfortable. Steering's nice and easy. As you can see, left-handed. I can control the scooter at ease, and that's around about just under half throttle. Little horn, just turn it up with your fingers so you can go a little faster, which is pretty ample for in here. And you can slow it down while it's moving, so you don't have to stop and alter the speed. But and it's exactly the same on our four-wheel there, which I'm now going to reverse. Is usually half speed, a lot slower than your forward speed. But yeah, and that's the riding of the Ultra X. So for an entry-level scooter that disassembles, it's a great scooter. They've, like I said, they've been out for a while and they keep doing upgrades to these scooters, so definitely worth a look at if you're considering to buy a scooter. You can always come into our store if you're thinking of buying a scooter. Come and talk to us. We like to give free advice, and as you know, I like to talk a lot. So yeah, that's your Ultra X. Glad we got both a three-wheel and a four-wheel in the store, so we can show you the differences between the two. But yeah, great design, great colour, better than just red or just blue, which most manufacturers do. The Pride seem to want to do different colours. So yeah, there's your Go-Go Ultra X by Pride Mobility. Some great features, some great add-ons that they've included in these scooters. So yeah, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments, drop us an email, sales@LasVegasLifts.com or sales@LasVegasScootersAndLifts.com, and we'll answer as best as we can. So yeah, questions we always like, and we always like to advise. So don't make the mistakes we did. So get it right first time. It's an expensive purchase sometimes, so don't buy the wrong thing. Amazon may look good, it may look cheap, but they won't tell you whether it's right or wrong for you. So, yep, hope you've enjoyed this video. Give us a like, share, subscribe, thumbs up. We really do appreciate it, and it helps us out a lot. So, yeah, till next time, bye now.